Hi there, my name is Cupicate, and welcome back to WolfQuest, our very special episode where we reveal Teo's pups from his final litter. Like I said in the last episode, he's not going to find another mate. He's not going to have any more litters. Teo is done. Sundance was his first mate and will be his last. Now, Teo's story isn't finished, but we will not have litters with him any longer. And the continuation of his story, due to art needing to be done and some other things needing to be arranged, maybe a little while before we continue to his story. But stay tuned because Teo's story is not over. But let's get to these wolf pups. I'm so excited to see what they look like. And here's our boy Teo. This is actually their first litter together, and Sundance, who is no longer with us. But now looking at these beautiful pups, all of which you survived, and yes, indeed, Elwood was the runt. As you can see right there, it says runt. I'm not surprised. It took him so long to grow up, but I can't wait to see what he looks like and how bad his stats are. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna grow up these pups and then we're gonna take a look at them. So we're gonna start with Cohen, who looks just like his dad. He really does. He looks just like his dad. It looks like he did get in a tussle. He's got a bit of a scar on his eye. And he is radio collared as well. But yes, he's the spitting image of his father, just without the burns from the fire that Teo endured when he was with Seraph. Let's take a look at Cohen. So Cohen has the Life is Rough Pack 2 coat, the second one over, the one with the eye scar. That is what he's got. He has beautiful bright amber eyes, very similar to his father's. I think his father's might be a little darker, but very, very close. Let's see what you sound like, bub. I literally think that's Teo's howl. I really do. Isn't that Teo's howl? Or is that Sundance's howl? Because it sounds really similar. Oh, we got the squeaky second howl! Oh my gosh, he really is the spitting image of his dad. That is insane. Let's see, I don't see anything as far as ear nicks go. The tail looks pretty normal. I don't see any customization on Cohen, but that doesn't mean that we can't add some to help tell a story if we end up playing Cohen for any reason. I will go ahead, of course, and give him the Snagglefang tooth, because even though Teo is a part of the Ovarian pack, he was originally a Snagglefang, and this is a dominant gene to have this tooth go out, and so Cohen will have that as well. Now, as for his stats, he's extremely strong. This is a big boy. He's so buff. He's the buffest. However, he has the endurance of his uncle. He can't go for very long, so if he ever went to get a mate, he probably should get a mate that's pretty fast and has incredible stamina so that she can pull the elk down and then he can come in and do the final blows. That is probably the best way he could ever get anything done. But him hunting on his own is truly going to take patience because he doesn't have endurance. As we know, we cannot actually see the personalities of these wolves. I do kind of wish, and I keep saying this every time we have a pup reveal, I guess I'm just hoping that somewhere the devs are going to see one of these videos and be like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I want to see these. I don't want to be able to affect the sliders. I still want the sliders to be permanent, similar to how like this is permanent. I can't do anything to change these stats. I want to see the personality of the pup and where I just can't change the personality. I would love to see it so I kind of know what they are and can play according to that. But because I can't see it, I don't really know. So if anybody out there has contact with the devs or anything, if you could suggest like, hey, we'd love to see the personality sliders when we grow up a pup. Obviously, we don't want to change it. We just want to see what it is. So maybe for roleplay purposes or for storytelling purposes, we can look at that and go, okay, he's going to be way more bold, or he's going to be a bit of a loner, you know, that kind of thing. But I can't tell. I can kind of tell when they're puppies, but I would love to be able to see that. All right. Rant over. Cohen. Big boy. Super strong. What do y'all think about Cohen? Cohen seemed really close to his family. I don't think I ever saw him stray too much, and when he did stray, he was usually with a sibling. He doesn't seem like a loner type just based on what I've seen. It seems like he's kind of a family man. Same as his dad and his mother. It seems like that has rubbed off on him a little bit as he's aged and grown up and watched his parents. He's very close to his family. And I think I did say in the last couple of episodes that he does look really strong and that Teo hasn't noticed that. And I wonder if his strength is one of the reasons he got radio collared, is that the humans that are out there watching are interested in seeing how this wolf does because he's so big and burly. Are we going to have a gentle giant, or are we going to have a strong protector? Let me know in the comments below. Oh my gosh, Stella? Have I seen this coat before? I don't think we've seen this coat before. Stella, honey, you are absolutely gorgeous. Look at you. What is this coat? The twin from Beauteous Blacks. This is the twin coat from 992M. This is beautiful. I love her dashes of red with the black and then the cream color. Honestly, it looks like she got a mix of Teo and Sundance together, because Teo's very similar with the light on the bottom and on the cheeks and the dark on top, but Sundance had a lot of reds in her coat with her yellows and oranges and browns. She is a true mix of her parents, and she's absolutely beautiful. She definitely has the eyes of her father, that dark orange, dark amber color. Let's look at her howls. Oh, what a soft and gentle howl she has for her first. But her second is a little more lonely sounding. Aww. Well, we did see Stella kind of go off on her own, especially after Sundance passed. She was hit probably the hardest by Sundance's passing. She seemed to detach herself from the family a little bit, and Teo did try hard to reel her back in, and I do think that would affect her a little bit, feeling like she did have a good father and she loved her dad. But maybe she's a little angry that her mom died, or maybe she's still suffering with the sadness and the heartbreak of losing her mother. I currently don't see anything on her ears that would indicate any customization. The same with her tail. I don't really see any sort of nicks or crookedness or shortness, but like I said previously, we can always change that based on her story. We will go ahead and give her the snaggle fang, which for some reason makes her look cute. Oh, I love that so much. Now for her stats, interesting. Even though she was so big, she's actually not that strong, nor is she very heavy on the stamina. It looks like she's lost some stamina and some strength, but she is fast and she has a little more health. So she would definitely be the one to maybe race up and grab an elk, while hopefully if she had a strong mate, he would take the elk down and finish it. But she's going to be more of a short distance chaser and able to take hits where her mate can do the rest. I absolutely love Stella. I do think the loss of her mother would affect her personality, and I'm interested to hear what stories or thoughts you have on that. Do you think she would have overcome it before she dispersed to go and get a mate? Do you think that it would still affect her to this day and she would take really good care of herself? Or maybe she would take extra care of her mate and always want to be with her mate in fear that she was going to lose them the way that she saw her father lose Sundance. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Next is Dahlia, who has the Agni Kai coat. That is what this will forever be referred to as, because that was the first pup that we ever grew up that had this coat. It looks as though she was also radio tagged. So we've already had 2 out of the 6 pups radio tagged, and we haven't even gotten through half of them. This would be half right now. Interesting. So it looks like humans of Yellowstone are really trying to keep an eye on Teo and his children and the Ovarian pack. So Dahlia has the gray coat from the black-tailed deer plateau pack. That beautiful red really coming through on her. She has also received her father's eye color, so Teo's eyes must be a very dominant gene, because I think Sundance had very yellow eyes and I haven't seen that so far. Let's listen to your howls, love. It looks like she shares a howl with her sister. Oh my gosh, they actually sound exactly the same. So her vocal tone, her range must be very small. She can't really express a larger range in singing, which is kind of interesting. Most of the time we get howls that are like really far apart, and I'm like, wow, their vocal range is intense. But this is the first time I think we've ever had a wolf pup with such a small vocal range. Maybe she's actually going to be more quiet, similar to her cousin Aurora. And same with Dahlia. I don't really see any customizations on her. No ear nicks or torn ears, no crooked tail. But we can always change that later. She does look very clean and untouched, like she's taken a good care of herself. But she is radio collared. I wonder what the story is for that. And now we get to her stats. So she is a little bit stronger. She has some bite in her, a very strong bite. Her endurance is pretty standard and average for your typical wolf. Her speed, however, is horrible. She's very slow. I wonder if that maybe indicates that she had a leg injury, and that leg injury affects her so she cannot run as fast. Perhaps her leg did not heal right, or maybe it could be a birth defect that wasn't obvious when she was a pup. She is also a little bit healthier, so she's strong and she can take more hits. She's just really slow. So no mule deal for no mule deal deer, not deal. No mule deer for her. Why is it so hard to say that? Just tripping over all my words over here. Okay, anywho, she's probably going to have to exclusively hunt elk and very much take her time with it. She's gonna need a mate that is fast and strong as well. But that is our sweet Dahlia, and she is so beautiful. Oh my goodness, she really wears this coat so well. It is absolutely beautiful on her. And I would be really interested in hearing her story, seeing if she became soft-spoken, that she lets her actions speak for her. She doesn't feel the need to talk. Instead, she feels the need to do. I wonder if her belief in Eartha has anything to do with how she may go forth, if she may go back to Lost River where her father came from, or if she will stick with the pack instead of having children. What do you think for Dahlia? Let me know about her in the comments below as well. Oh, and of course, we cannot forget the beautiful Snagglefang that looks absolutely lovely on this precious girl with her sweet eyes. And now we have Talon, who finally got his mother's eyes. He looks intense. Like, he even looks like a hawk. Those eyes are so striking and keen looking. He looks like he could just swoop down and take whatever he wanted. So he has, from the Gorgeous Grays, the 925M coat called Big Gray, and he wears it beautifully. I'm so excited that we're actually getting the new coats now. We've had this DLC for a long time, but we were playing with series where it hadn't been updated in yet. So now we're finally getting to see these beauteous blacks and gorgeous grays implemented in our wolf pups. And he did indeed get his mother's golden gaze. I love to see it. The sunlight shines through him just as it did her. Now for his howls. A very soft and solemn howl that he has. It's absolutely beautiful. I think he got the squeaky howl just like his brother Cohen. Yes, he did! I love to see when these wolves share howls that the genetic makeup of these wolves gets passed through the siblings. I love that the game does that and makes it special. I also don't see any customizations with him at all. No ear nicks, nothing like that, no crooked tail. However, we will add the snaggle tooth. It makes him look a little menacing, but that's okay. Maybe he's also a gentle giant, or maybe he is fierce. Maybe he takes on the world as hard and as fast as he can. Now for his stats, he has a -1 in stamina, a +2 in speed, so he got all the speed. He is super fast, but he is not very healthy. All he really has to him is his speed. That's okay though. His strength is average, so that's not bad. If we ever end up playing Talon, I could always add a point into strength, and so he can be biting extra hard while he's catching up to Elk. Now, he could take on a mule deer. I'd like to see that because we don't really get to do that very often in our playthroughs. Most of our wolves don't have speed. He does, so if we got to play him, we'd actually get to take down some deer from time to time. Now, as for Talon, he did not stick out to me as much as I kind of wish he did. I do think I saw him with the family the most. So I do think, just like his brother Cohen, he is very family oriented. Perhaps his mother not only shines through his eyes, but shines in his heart. And maybe he'll be as passionate and loving as his mother was. It would definitely be fun to play a wolf that is as loving as Sundance. I just hope that I can accomplish that because she was so sweet and I would hate to let her down and her image down. But I would love to see Talon, even though he looks so fierce and so striking, to love as passionately and have as much faith as Sundance did and take that on into a family. But let me know what y'all think in the comments below, whether you agree or disagree, and give me your thoughts. And here is Elwood, who is also radio collared. We have 3 pups so far out of the 6, and we haven't even seen Tangle yet. 3 of these pups are radio collared right now. That is intense. So humans are really keeping an eye on Teo, and it could be because they're watching him try and unify packs, and they're like, what is going on? This is very bizarre. This doesn't seem like a normal wolf behavior, and so they're really keeping an eye on his pups right now. I'm surprised they haven't caught Teo himself, but it might be that they just haven't had the opportunity. Teo is on the move a lot. But let's look at our little runt Elwood. So he got what I like to call the potato coat. I don't know why I call it that. Is it because Potato got it? I don't know. But look at the little pinks that are shining through all the gray and brown and black. He definitely looks like he's been sprinkled with pink. He's so pretty. Now, it looks like he got a true blend of his mom and dad's eyes, because this is still orange, but it's really light. So he got some gold in there from his mother. So he has the 926F Spitfire coat from the Hall of Fame. I love the speckling on this coat. It is really intriguing to look at. He even looks like he's got some like maroon and red in there. That's so pretty, little Elwood. And yes, his eyes, they do look like a perfect mix of Teo and Sundance. Let's listen to what he sounds like. So he got a very high-pitched howl. I actually think that that's the howl that Mikhail has. So again, we're sticking with genetics here. such a soft and sweet howl. So Elwood ended up being very, very sweet. He also finally got an ear nick. So he has the notched left ear, finally a customization. I don't see anything with his tail, however, and he will get the snaggle fang, which looks pretty cool on him. It makes him look a little less sweet, maybe a little more goofy though. Now for his horrible stats. He did get a plus. I can say that. He's got some strength behind him. So he took on his runt hood by force and decided he was going to be strong. However, his endurance is horrible. He isn't very fast and he doesn't have a whole lot of health. At least he can bite hard, and if we ever end up playing Elwood to do a runt challenge, maybe we'll have a chance with that strength being up by 1. And maybe we can increase it to 2 to give him an even better chance when he finally has pups. It would be a lot of fun to do a runt playthrough. I think for Elwood, because we had seen him play with his siblings so much and so often, I could see him just being a tryhard. That everything that he did, he would put his whole self into it because he's had to prove himself since he was very, very young, being the runt. He had to push his siblings aside when he could to get food, and he had to push hard to learn how to hunt. And Teo probably pushed that into him as well in the last few months that he was in training, saying, "You are small, but that doesn't mean you can't survive," and just pushed his hunting as much as he could. And maybe that's why his strength is so good, is because Teo pushed him and his siblings pushed him. But he is still a runt, and therefore his stats do reflect that. He's just a bit smaller in general. But I'd love to see a playthrough with him being a tryhard. I just hope that him doing that wouldn't possibly lead to taking on more than he's capable of and getting himself injured or possibly killed. And last but certainly not least is Tangle, and it's so funny because that coat is referred to as the twin coat, and Tangle and Stella both got this coat, so they were twins, which I didn't realize when I was watching them. But he also has the 992M twin coat. I wonder if the devs did that on purpose, and if they did, they're amazing, and I love that. But Tangle is so beautiful. Look at his sweet, sweet face. He also got the dark amber eyes, just like Teo. So a lot of Teo eyes here. I think that Talon was the only one that got his mother's eyes, probably with it being a recessive gene. So even though they match as far as their coat goes, their howls are not quite the same. Oh, and those howls are actually really close in range as well. So it looks like these pups just maybe didn't have as big of a range as some of the other pups that we have seen. They sing much, but their range is very closed off. And it's possible that Sundance had a very closed off range. And that's why these pups don't have a larger range in howling. I do not see any ear customizations, nor do I see tail customizations. That might have to do with Tangle being the twin of Stella. We will, however, give him the snaggle fang, and now they're super twins. Wouldn't that be mean if I was just like, Tangle's just not going to get it because he has to be different? No, I'm not going to do that. All right, let's look at your stats. So his stats are pretty good, actually. He's pretty average on strength. His stamina is meh. It's not bad. It's not like Mikhail bad or anything. But it is lower. However, he makes up for it in speed, which is great. I love to see the counterbalance of speed. If he can catch up to an elk faster, then the stamina is not going to matter as much. But he's pretty par on health as well. So he's mostly average, but we can always fix this stamina possibly in growing him up and just give him average stamina, and that way he'd just be fast. Now, I specifically remember Tangle always being in the grass. I don't know if that means that he's cautious or maybe he just enjoys being around nature, but I'm starting to lean towards that he's more cautious. Perhaps losing Sundance was a little more apparent with Tangle. Tangle was always kind of alone in the grasses doing his own thing even when Sundance was alive, but he continued to do that after her death, and he didn't pull close to his family. So I'm wondering if maybe he does have a little bit of fear to him, since he's more of a cautious wolf, and maybe he would be extremely distant from family even if he went and got a mate. He just wouldn't want to be attached, especially after losing Sundance. Maybe he'd be afraid of feeling that heartbreak and loss again, so he never really gets close to anything, except maybe the goddesses. Maybe this means that a family is not his true desire, that he really just wants to be alone and do his own thing. Or perhaps he could just stick with Teo for a while and maybe be an apprentice for him. Maybe that would change his heart later. I don't know. Let me know what you think about Tangle in the comments below. I don't have a lot for him other than the fact that he was very much a loner and very cautious, always hiding in the grass or maybe just enjoying it. So give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts. I feel like I'm a little lost on Tangle other than his cautiousness and his lonerness. He did like to play, though. I do remember that. He did enjoy playing with sticks and bones. I think I always saw him playing with something. But that is all for Teo's fourth and final litter, now that Sundance is no longer his mate. Teo will likely stay with Mikhail for a little while. He may stray as his pups grow older to go back to Lost River and maybe be with the memories that he had with Seraph before he moved on. But Teo will return to us. He's very important to our story. I don't want to see him go until his story is fulfilled. Well, let me know what y'all think about the pups in the comments below. Like I said before, I'm really excited to see if we play any of these pups. They're so beautiful, and I really hope we get to play one of them. I know we're playing Willow right now, which is one of Teo's pups, but I wouldn't have any problem playing with another one. I hope you enjoyed these pups. If you did, tickle and poke that like button, subscribe to join our family if you haven't already, and jingle the bell so you're notified of when I post more WolfQuest videos, because we're gonna need a new wolf to play. I just realized. Oh no. It's gonna be weird not playing Teo. We've been playing him for so long. It almost feels like another loss. But I know he's not gone, and you'll probably see me playing him in multiplayer. I definitely will be playing him in multiplayer, in fact, because now his whole goal will be to unify the pack, so why wouldn't he be in multiplayer? I love you guys. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next week for a special. And then we'll start a new WolfQuest series on Wednesdays. Bye!